And the sun is about to set over what has been an incredible tournament, the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations. In the finals, we have Senegal against Algeria. They're going to be facing off at the Cairo International Stadium. Two of arguably the best sides that we've seen in this tournament. My name is Solomon Fowowe, and welcome to Guardian Sports. We're here to give you all of the things you need to know from that game, that Senegal against Algeria. I'm here with Dennis Erezi, who's going to be offering his thoughts on all things the finals. How's it going, Dennis?
Very well, Solomon, and it's always a pleasure to be here.
Okay, first things first, do you think both sides are the most deserving sides to be in this final?
Absolutely deserving side. You look at the tournament and then you want to say that these guys have actually put out, five-star performances in all of their matches, and without a doubt, they clearly deserve to be in this final.
Yeah, especially when you look at Senegal, they've conceded, I think, just one goal, and that was as far back as their second game in the group stages of this tournament. Algeria themselves, they've conceded, I think, just 2 goals in this tournament. I think it's been a really, really compact and strong side defensively. I'm looking at both Senegal and Algeria.
Yeah, if you call these two teams a very compact side, you're not wrong there, Solomon, because you look at their defense, you want to really say that this team are really teams that can really hold their own. When opponents, come knocking at them, pressing them hard, they tend to soak up the pressure and then, still find a way to dictate play and end up winning the match. You look at the Senegal side, and then considering the first match that they played against this Algerian side, if you did watch the match critically, you will know that the match was won by the slightest of chances that they got through Belali in the 45th minute of that game. And then clearly, no doubt, this match is going to be a real definer of who the king is in African football. Yeah,
as Dennis has said, both sides, they faced off in the group stages of the 2019 African Cup of Nations. But before we go into that, Kalidou Koulibaly is going to be missing from this game because of the suspension he got from that game against Tunisia. And now, do you think the defensive side of Senegal will be good enough to hold off, the likes of Bunja, the likes of Belali, and the likes of Mahrez, knowing that their defensive stalwarts in Kalidou Koulibaly is not in there?
They have some other players to bank on, fine, Koulibaly is not there, but then they still have Chekou Kouyaté.
And Salif Sané too.
Yeah, and then they've still got a whole lot of these players who have over time, played together. Because if you did remember, as far back as the World Cup qualifiers, yes, they did not make it to the World Cup. But, this team has been a team that have stuck together. Cisse have found a way and a model, to make these players work. Because if you look at all of them individually, you cannot really say that, oh, this is the very exceptional player amongst them. Fine, you want to make a case for Sadio Mane, but then beyond that, I believe that this is a team that have really held its own over time, and then this is their time. Now
that you've spoken of the key players to watch in that side, you're talking about Sadio Mane for Senegal and Riyad Mahrez for Algeria. Do you think both sides will be, and both players will be deciders in this particular match? The first time that they faced off, that was in the second game. They weren't much of a decider when it came to the balance of that game. Yeah. But this final, since it's a different kettle of fish, do you think that both players will raise their games to show that they are one of the best players that we've seen in the African tournament?
Yes, they've faced off in the group stage, and then you want to say that during the group stage match, it was the opening fixture of the Africa Cup of Nations for these two teams. And then coming all the way to the finals, I think it will be a different ball game. I do not see the battle being won or lost, from the attacks. Rather, I see the battle from the midfield, where we have Ndiaye, we have Gueye, and also for the Algerian side, we have Feghouli, and then we have Godiora.
Fantastic players so far.
These guys, if you follow these two teams over time, you will see that these guys have actually been the engine room, particularly for the Algerian side. Okay. Because even you say that, fine, Riyad Mahrez is their most established player, for what he's done with Manchester City. But if you follow their matches clearly, you will know that what Mahrez brings to the team is more or less like an icing on the cake. And also some of their matches, we've seen Mahrez being substituted. These are times that he was playing off balance, probably to the pressure of the opposition. But Feghouli have stood, he has really shown that, you know, is the determinant and is the driver of this Algerian side.
Yeah, Jamel Belmadi's side, they've been, I think the word you'd use is tactically aware. You know, Belmadi has shown himself as the more tactically astute manager on this side. We saw the way he shut down Musa and Chukwueze in the semi-finals against Nigeria, and now you expect him to do something similar against the likes of Sadio Mane, against the likes of Keita Balde and Ismail Assar.
Now, it will be very difficult for this Algerian side. It will be difficult. Don't forget, you know, like the saying goes, once beaten, twice shy. So this Senegalese team...
You feel they have an axe to grind?
Yes, you know, this Senegalese team will not be giving out a chance, you know, to be crushed the second time by these Algerians. And then, mind you, yes, you want to say that Belmadi, you know, have really shown to be that man tactically. And then in the same way, don't forget that Cisse have also shown himself so much in this tournament, because I've seen this Senegalese team, you know, play with different sort of tactics in different matches.
Dennis, sorry to cut you, but personally, I think that the Senegalese side have found a way to be even less than the sum of their parts, because you look at the talents in this side and you see that they are not still translating such talents to most of their games on the field. Case in point, you look at the game against Uganda, you look at the game against Benin Republic, you look at the game against Tunisia. They were all 1-0 victories for all of those sides. And
now, their first two matches in the group stage, so do not forget that their first match, they actually won by 2-0. And then their last match of the group, the first match they lost to Algeria.
No, I think the first match was the one they won. Yeah.
Okay, but then the last match in the group stage, they won by 2-0. And then the one before the last, they won by 3-0. So you know that this team is actually a team that also knows how to score, and then a team that also knows how to defend.
Yeah, you said they know how to score, but we've not seen that trail of events ever since they got into the knockout stages. You could say it's heightened competition, but let's move away from that. Now that we know both teams are really going for the kill in this one. You look at the Algerian side, they've not won in 29 years, and Senegal, they've not won at all. I'm sure both teams will be itching to get their hands on that trophy.
Yeah, not just the teams, and then you want to also count millions of fans and even citizens of this country, you know, are waiting the outcome of this one. And then believe you me, they will not be disappointed, because millions of people out there in Algiers, that's the capital of Algeria, you know, are waiting earnestly for their second title of the Africa Cup of Nations. In the same way, our followers in Dakar, Senegal, you know, they are waiting, you know, waiting on the likes of Sadio Mane to, you know, to come deliver what they've never had to them.
But the problem now is I struggle for a bit when I'm trying to figure what advantage that Senegal might have over this Algerian side. Do you see any advantage for them?
Yes, I do see an advantage. I do see an advantage. If you have looked at this Algerian team very closely, you know that, you know, when they come at you very well, and then you are able to, you know, sit back and then just keep your focus, soak up the pressure. You know, they can really be very panicky. They can be very panicky, you know. But then we've seen from this Senegalese team, you know, that this Senegalese team, it is not just that they are very good defensively, they are also very dangerous on the attack. You know, but if you are looking for a fault in this Algerian team, I think you also need to go and check out the match that they played against the Ivorians, you know, during their quarterfinal, which they won by penalties. You see in that game that, you know, they ought to have won that game, even from the first half, but then chances upon chances upon chances, and then they allow their Ivorians, you know, to grow into the game. But that's not what you're here to talk about. We're here to talk about the strength of this Senegalese team, you know, against this Algerian side. But what I've discovered so far in this Senegalese team is that it is a team that can attack, and then it is a team that can also defend. So I see this as a panic for Belmadi's side.
Well, it feels to me that you're slightly tilting towards the Senegalese side, so I'm going to be getting your prediction now in that match. What do you think is going to be getting this one? Senegal or Algeria?
Now, for me, in this tournament so far, Algeria have clearly been the better side. Have been the best team, you know, in terms of goals scored and even, slightly goals conceded.
Talent and talent application.
Talent application as well, and then also our tactical know-how when you're looking at the managerial point of view. And then for the Senegalese side, I just think it is not yet time for them, you know.
So, I want you to put that in clear terms. Are you saying Senegal is not going to be winning this one?
Yeah, I don't see them claiming this one. I see this one, going to Algiers.
Oh, going back to Algiers. Now, before we just wrap up on the show today, there's this very tiny talk on the goal scorer, the highest goal scorer of this tournament. You have Sadio Mane on 3 goals, you have Adamu Nash on 3 goals, and you have Riyad Mahrez on 3 goals. Wow!
Odion Igalo already
8 and 5 goals.
Odion Igalo already took that. Well, fine, we know that.
So you don't see any player scoring 2 goals in this game?
I don't see any player scoring 2 goals in this one. And then if that will be leading me to to predicting the scoreline of this one, I just think it will end in a 2-1 scoreline.
2-1 for Algeria.
Yes, I see both teams scoring, and then I see an intense end to this one.
So Dennis is an intense end to this one, and he has predicted that Algeria win. Algeria 2-1 against Senegal. I don't know what to make of that, but thank you so much for coming, Dennis.
Always a pleasure, Solomon. And then we await the king of African football in 2019.
Well, whoever ends up the champion of Africa, I'll say kudos to them. We're going to be finding out by 8 o'clock. That's today. Thank you so much for sticking with us all through the AFCON tournament. And we're still going to be doing some post-mortem of the tournament itself, and Dennis is going to be here, and we'll probably get another guest into the studio. It's been a pleasure serving you the best all the way from AFCON. So make sure you're subscribed to this YouTube channel, and you follow Guardian Nigeria on all social media platforms, on Instagram, on Twitter. And make sure you check out our website, Guardian.ng. It's been a really, really good ride. Thank you so much to my producer and my camera guy. My name is Solomon Fowowe, and this has been Guardian Sport.